Gentlemen, it is July 26th, but I've noticed a bit of a trend quite recently, and that is quite a lot of these Halloween themed items have been kind of growing in price. They have been steadily increasing. Not all of them, but some very notable ones. And I think the best one to talk about at the moment is the skull. The skull was introduced with the coverable pumpkin last year, so we don't really have any data to look at it in terms of its history. We only literally have this year. And as you can see, the price is trending upwards throughout all of July. These past 4 weeks, it's been going up and up and up and up. And a lot of people have been saying, should I sell? Should I sell? It's going up in price. Hedge, should I sell? Calm down. Calm down. 53 have sold in the past 24 hours. It is an in-demand. Is it an item? Is it a skin? This is a very weird situation. First of all, it's blue when it shouldn't be. Blue would be for a deployable. It's a rock skin. Is it an item? What I'm led to believe is they originally probably wanted you to be able to place this like a decoration on a table or something. That's why it's blue. But then they just thought, nah, we'll just make it a rock. And they forgot to make it red instead of blue. Oh well. At the end of the day, it is currently selling for $5.64. There is 109 of them on the market. And if we look at the pricing, there's only this bit here. That's kind of setting up a wall, a bit of a resistance. But everything else, very thin. And it can very easily go higher and higher in price. So as long as there is demand. And demand, but we're still quite away from Halloween. As you said, it's the end of July. Why would people be wanting to buy Halloween skins now anyway? Anticipation. People are well aware that during the anticipation towards Halloween, these items are very likely to go even higher in price. They're going to become even more profitable. So, if we recall, the skull sold for $3.99 in a Rust store. Right now, they are currently selling for $5.64. Will they go even higher in price? Very likely, yes. But I can't show you in regards to the history we have here. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to show you some history of some other Halloween-themed items that we've got. So we've got large candle set here. Currently, this is selling for $6.51. Last Rust store rotation, well, last time it was here in the Rust store, it sold for $4 as well. So it's up 63%. A nice positive, a nice bit of profit. No major walls, no resistance, very thin, very easily could jump up in price. Now, if we scroll down, we can see that 24 have sold. They are quite higher in price, so we shouldn't expect tons and tons and tons of sales. But we do know that the trend is sort of happening again. Within these recent months, we saw quite a decline, and then it started to pick up again. But what we can see from the past, look at that climb, wow! We are well aware, usually the anticipation for Halloween usually sets in at around August time. And it usually has peaked between August and September in past cases. So for these large candle sets, for something that sold for $4, 2 years ago it peaked during August at around $12, $13, and then it went down. And why does it usually go down as we get very, very close to October? People are wiser to the situation where they realise that they're going to be reintroduced, they're going to be brought back, and when an item sells at a higher price in the Steam market compared to its Rust store price, it will match that price. So it'll fall down in price, and as you can see, it fell down after Halloween because it wasn't selling at around, well, with my currency here, it wasn't selling around $8. No, it was selling for $4, so it crashed in price. And because so many of them were bought, they went even lower. They went down to about $3. But then it picks up. The yearly routine, the yearly pattern, when it will just keep rising up, anticipation sets in because loads of people expect it to be reintroduced again in the future, and loads of people expect it to also still climb up in price. So gradually it just keep rising and rising and rising in price. But last year was different. It went up even higher. It went crazy for some reason. During September, at its peak, it was selling for around $22. Then lo and behold, we get closer to October and it actually went down in price. And then it was reintroduced, crashed in price. So I don't know what caused so much of this to happen last year. Maybe it was manipulation. Maybe loads of people were making it artificially rise up higher and higher and higher in price. It happens. But this is just something that you have to be aware of. The usual trends. So, as we've seen, it's been August and it's also been September. August and September usually is when the Halloween items will peak. So we are only just about to reach August. Maybe it's going to be a situation again where it peaks quite early in August and then just goes down. Maybe it will affect all of the other items differently. So we've got Cursed Cauldron here. It's pretty much a replacement for the fireplace, isn't it? It also makes a very nice green light. Right now it's selling for $9. How much did it sell for in the Rust store last year? $6. So, yeah, we're in a situation again where we are above the Rust store price. There's a bit of resistance here, a bit of a wall, a bit of a dumping, but very thin after that. Very easily could jump up in price much, much more if there is demand. And as I said, anticipation is literally just around the corner. 47 of these have sold in the past 24 hours. If we look back up, there's 139. So that's fairly okay. But we need to look at the past. And just like those candles, it's had a bit of a fun past. So it was introduced, when was it introduced? 2018. So this was introduced in 2018, and we have quite a lot of history to look at. So, yeah, 2018, rises up. People, skeptical people thought, nah, it couldn't be reintroduced, could it? Well, it did. And it spiked up, and then it crashed. Because, yeah. And then as we're talking about the next year, anticipation sets in and it peaks at around August time, crashes October time. Last year, we're looking at it again. The anticipation is there, the price is rising. This year, though, it actually peaked in July. Then as we got closer and closer to October, crashes. So there was interest. There was the usuals. It's sitting at around usually August and September when it peaks, but for the first time it actually peaked in October. You can't see that properly. Yeah, alright, that's in the way, you can't see it. Just know that's October 15. But this was the first year that it actually got reintroduced. So brought out in 2019, during 2020 October, people were risking it. They thought, oh no, it won't be brought back. It was brought back, it crashed. And then the next year, people risked it again, got reintroduced, crashed in price. Because it matched up to the price it sold for in the Rust store. Cauldron was not sold in 2019. Ah, so it skipped a year. Right, that's actually a very good point then, if that's true. Can you, yep, 2018, 2020, 2021. Right, okay, we can work with that information. So this is candles. So my apologies there. A little bit of misinformation, but again, we're just trying to learn about the peaks. But Cauldron wasn't introduced in 2019, so I've got to try and figure my way around this. 2021, 2020, this is 2019. Right, so that explains the spike here. So in 2018 it was introduced, but for 2019 it wasn't. And once people realised that it wasn't being brought back, it spiked up in price. That's why it spikes here. And the only reason it went back down is because it wasn't Halloween anymore. It didn't fit. You're not going to have Halloween stuff when it's December. It's Christmas time. We have Christmas stuff instead. So that's why it spiked here. So that's why this was a bit weird. So the actual spike was probably here in August. So yeah, I'm sticking with that. But it spikes up here, August, September. But the last year it spiked up in July. So maybe it is a good time to potentially sell your things now. It's up to you. But look how weak it is this year compared to that so far. It's not looking good, is it? It's not as high. And Skull Fire Pit. Skull Fire Pit is currently $5.80. I'm well aware this definitely skipped one, didn't it? This skipped a year as well. So, what... Am I wrong? Was it Cauldron? Was it only Cauldron, or was it also Fireplace? This came out in 2017. There's a lot more history to it, but usually the peaks, very similarly, September-ish, just to the tip of October. Skull Fire Pit was sold in 2017, 2019, and 2021. Thank you for the information, Mr. Micro. But the peaks August 1st, and then offline TV, August, September. So yes, it's looking like if you want to sell your Halloween themed items, maybe you want to wait until at least August. Maybe you want to wait until at least September. There is a bit of a trend there, and sorry for diverging a little bit because I accidentally forgot that Cauldron wasn't introduced. Well, wasn't there for 2019, so a little bit of a mistake there. But we at least could figure out why it randomly spiked up the very second it hit October, because it wasn't brought back, and people instantly assumed, oh wow, it's going to become a whole lot more valuable. And of course, it was also Halloween, and everybody wanted it as well. So you get the idea. So here's my best answer that I can give you. Here's the best answer that I can give you. Are you happy to get that profit now? Do you need money now? If you think, yes, I need money now, then sure, sell. But do you have anything else that you might want to sell right about now? Doesn't hurt if you want to sell them. Take your profit now, move on to other things. At the end of the day, profit is profit. You take your profit, you put it towards something else, you put it towards your next investing adventure. That's what I do. Because if I look back and see all of the things that I might have sold a bit too early, I will scream and cry because there's a lot of history there. But, you know, why cry? I've made loads of profit in other things and put it towards other things that profited much nicely and much better in other ways. And then I took that profit and moved over to many other things. Don't cry over just one single thing. So if you're, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, maybe not sell. Maybe just wait a little bit. But the usual peak times to sell at the best prices for Halloween's themed items, as we saw, August and September. We actually have two more things to look at as well. We have mummy wraps. These were introduced, when were they introduced? 2020. So we've had one instance where it was reintroduced. And it might be helpful, because as you can see, there is a spike there. Very, very, very high spike, and it happens during the middle of August. Then it goes down, because then the educated guesses started to happen. People assumed it would be reintroduced, and lo and behold, yes it was. Crashed in price. This is the thing that you need to be aware of. There is anticipation, we are well aware, but you have to be well aware that there's a very good chance all of these can be reintroduced. Maybe one of them won't, and then we'll see a situation much like in 2019 with the Cursed Cauldron, where it spiked up in price because people did want it, but they're not going to be cheaper, so you had to grab what was on the Steam market. So situations like that can happen. It's there's a lot of time to go, guys, but you know, just keep an eye out. And if you're looking at any of these items that you own and you think, you know what, now it feels like the best time to do it, now it feels like the best time to sell, that's fine. There's no right or wrong way. Maybe some of you want to wait until the very day the Rust Store rotation happens for the Halloween event. And I actually did that last year with the Cursed Cauldrons, because I thought maybe they might not be reintroduced. And they were. So, but I sold them to the highest buy order, and it was still profitable. I was happy with that. I moved on. I took that risk, and it didn't work out for me. So, yeah, quite some time to go. But I hope I've got it into your head. Maybe if you're just a little bit more patient, the prices of these could very well go even higher. Skull Spikes, $4.45. 13 have sold in the past 24 hours. It was brought in 2020. The price spike, I don't want to do here. Because that's a bit too early. You want to stick to probably more around here. September time. That's when it spiked later towards the year. Why did it go that high of a price in February? Maybe because of post-Christmas momentum? Maybe. Actually, that's offline TV era. Yes, 2020 to 2021. Right, that's offline TV era. So that's why it went so high of a price. But the best thing to do would be look at these ones instead. So September time. August, September. That's the best time. So keep your eyes out. Make your decisions then, maybe. I mean, we're literally 1 week away into August. What are you going to do?